I used to struggle to grow my shoulders, even though I was doing the exact exercises I saw pro bodybuilders do. But once I prioritized just 2 simple exercises, my shoulders blew up so fast I could finally ditch the oversized hoodies and finally had the confidence to wear tight t-shirts. So in this video I'll show you which exercises will get you those badass looking, wide and 3D looking shoulders that you want. But first, let me show you the trap that I fell into that kept my shoulders looking small, so you don't end up making the same mistake. When I started training, I copied whatever bodybuilders were promoting in magazines like Muscular Development, but that was exactly the issue. See, old school bodybuilders like Mike Mentzer and Kevin Levrone are known for having the widest shoulders in history, and what gives that wide look to the shoulder is big side delts. And to train these, the most effective exercise is a side raise. Now you can do these with dumbbells, and this is a great exercise, especially if you're training from home and have limited equipment. But if you look at the resistance profile of a dumbbell side raise, it is heavier towards the top of the movement when the delt is shortened. With a cable you can get more tension on a lengthened position, and that's exactly why I personally like to do side raises with a cable station and a cuff. Not just because of the resistance profile, but even more so because of this progression trick that fixes the most annoying part of lateral raises. Because we've all been there. One day you're doing 15 reps like it's nothing. So the next time you increase the weight, but you barely get 5 reps. So next time you increase the weight on a side raise and it's too heavy, do this instead. Move the cuff to around the elbow. And as you progress, doing more reps, gradually move the cuff down until it's back at your wrist again. By moving the cuff higher up, what you're doing is reducing a moment arm. And what that simply means is that less force is required to complete the movement. You're effectively creating a micro progression, which is a smaller step between the pins of the machine. So that's the secret to big side delts. But where front delts make your shoulders look wide from the front, rear delts really blow up your shoulders looking from the side. And to target those, the exercise that most people think of is the rear delt flies. But this variation gets you a bigger range of motion and keeps the tension where you want it. In a rear delt machine, sit sideways on the bench. By moving your arm across the body, you increase the range of motion. Then drag the weight with a straight arm to the side of the body. You don't need to go any further than that, as it takes away tension on the rear delt and the rhomboids will take over. You can also use a cable station with a similar setup. Just turn your body away from the cable station so that the arm is crossing the body. And if you're training at home or don't have machines, a bent over rear delt raise is the most effective exercise you can have in your program. What about front delts? These are trained by doing exercises like a shoulder press or front raise. But what also heavily targets the front delts is any other pressing movement like an incline bench press. So if you're already doing a lot of press movements, you usually don't need extra front delt work. If your goal is building overall strength, a shoulder press is a great movement to do. And if your goal is purely aesthetics, well then it depends. Going for that old school look, then yes, prioritize front delts, but if you're going after that modern 3D look, keep the priority on the side and the rear delts. So Kevin, now that I know which exercises to do, how many sets and reps should I do for massive shoulders? Well, for my clients, I program between 10 to 15 sets per muscle group per week. But here's the thing, I do count chest presses as a shoulder set as well. So if someone has 3 sets of incline presses, I'll decrease their direct front shoulder work. So naturally, they'll have less front delt exercises compared to side and rear delts. And for compound movements, I recommend slightly lower reps with higher weight, usually between 6 to 10 reps. For isolation movements, I usually go 10 to 15 reps with a weight that allows to train to failure. And how you split this up across the week doesn't really matter. But I prefer to evenly spread it out over 2 workouts, just to allow for sufficient recovery. If you want a workout program that I have 90% of my coaching clients on, you can download it for free. The link's in the description. And now you know exactly which exercise to do to grow those wide shoulders. The one thing that's stopping you from getting that body that you dream of isn't just the exercises, it's the program around them. So watch this video next, it'll show you how to build a strong, lean physique without living in the gym.